Hi class. Today I want to just take a few minutes and go over the first exam. Exactly what are you looking at? What kinds of questions? Where do you find it? What do you need to do to access it, etc. Okay, so the exam is always going to be on whatever is the last module in D2L that is included on the exam. So the trial balance and worksheet in this case is the last module in this first section of stuff that's on the exam. So it's going to include all the stuff before there from whatever might have been the last exam, which we haven't had one. So the introduction to accounting, the chart of accounts and accounting equation, and the trial balance and worksheet modules will all be included in exam 1. Now, the exams are divided into 2 parts. We do have one exam in the semester, but that's not this one, that will be done via honor lock, where you have to show your ID and such. But the rest of them are just straight online. So here on my screen, you see exam 1. And it shows the dates when you can start it and the last time before it locks up. So it locks up on June 12th at 11:30. So that means you need to start it plenty of time before then, so to be able to finish by 11:30. Or you can start as early as June 11th at 8 a.m. Okay, now there are conditions that must be met before you can even get into this exam. Before it's even going to show up on your screen, you have to have these things completed. So it says you have to visit the content, exam 1 study guide. You have to complete the trial balance and worksheet quiz, and you have to complete the chart of accounts quiz. So you have to have taken both of those quizzes, and you have to at least look at the study guide. And once you have done those things, and it's at least June 11th at 8 a.m., but isn't after June 12th at 11:30 p.m., then this exam 1 should show up on your screen. Please let me know if you know that you've done all of these things and it's within this window and you still cannot see exam 1. Now, exam 1 has true, false, and multiple choice questions. They are going to be very similar to the exam 1 study guide. So that's why I want you to at least look at the study guide, okay? Because the questions are coming from there. Now, the study guide does not have answers, it just has questions. You have to look up the answers, but at least, you know, you've got that done before you take this test. Now, when I put the question in, I might change the question a little bit, so that now, instead of the answer being false, the answer is true, or something like that. So when you're going through the study guide, be sure that you understand, why is it true? Why is it false? Why is it answer C instead of answer B? So that if I do change some wording in there in the question, you won't automatically just look up on your predetermined answer from the study guide and say, oh, that one's answer B. Oh, this one is false. Whatever. So you have to read the question carefully and understand so that you can answer it correctly. But the questions will be based, some of them will be exactly the same as what they are on the study guide. Okay, now you only have one attempt. So once you start it, it is timed, and you can't pause. You can't pause the exam and then resume later so that you can look up answers and stuff like that. So you have to study that exam one study guide and be ready to go to be able to take this exam and do well on it. There's enough time on it that you could look up a couple of things, but you can't look up everything. You will run out of time. So you're going to want to make sure that you have studied first. Now, if you are uncomfortable with taking an exam online and you prefer to have a paper exam, we can set that up in the testing center. You need to ask me so that I can get it set up for you to do that. Okay, so as you're answering those true, false, and multiple choice questions, you just bubble in your answer. As soon as you get done, you'll see a button, Submit Quiz, and you'll click that, and it'll immediately tell you the score that you had on that part of the exam. That part of the exam is around 75% of the points are in that part of the exam. Now, you also see here on my screen, it says Exam 1, Problem C. This is the other part of the exam. It's also in the same window of time, but you can take it at a different time. So if you want to take the true, false, multiple choice part on June 11th, and then on June 12th, you take the problem part, you're more than welcome to do that. Now, again, there's some conditions that must be met before you can even see this on your screen. You have to submit to the folder Homework Chapter 5, Part 4, and Homework Chapter 2, Part 4. So if we take a look, here's Homework Chapter 5, Part 4. It was on the same page. You can even see in here, this assignment is required before you take Exam 1 problem. Now, in this case, unlike those quizzes, these assignments, you can upload something late. So if you didn't do this assignment back when it was due on June the 9th by 11:30, then you could still, on June the 10th or June the 11th, you could still upload the answer. You would get a 0 as far as a homework grade for it because it's late, but it would still allow you to access the Exam 1 problem. The same thing with Homework Chapter 2, Part 4, which is in the Chart of Accounts section. Okay, there's the quiz that you should have taken by June the 2nd, and the assignment that is due by June the 10th. It has a late date because it was added later in my attempt at revamping the class. Okay, and so the problems always have something to do with the homework. So here's where you have to make a chart of accounts. Okay, so you can be assured that you're going to have to make a chart of accounts. Okay, it also tells you that you're going to have to make a trial balance as well. So we had homework on that. Okay, Chapter 5, Part 4 is where you're given a partial worksheet and you have to fill in the income statement and balance sheet columns on the worksheet. Okay, and so here you were given an Excel worksheet, the adjusted trial balance already filled out. You had to know that revenues and expenses go on the income statement, the rest of the accounts go on the balance sheet, how to total those, figure out the net income and grand totals, and fill that all in on here, and then upload that as your homework answer. Okay, so on the exam, it's going to be very similar. You're going to be given a partial worksheet, just like the homework, and you fill it out. So if you take the time to know what you're doing on your homework, you should have no problems on the exam problems. If you didn't do the homework, you copied the homework from somebody else, whatever, you will have problems on the problem part. Currently, the problem part is around 25% of the exam grade. I'm very adamant on checking to see who is copying when they do these problem parts. I very closely go through line by line everything. I will find out if you're copying it from somebody else's exam one problem. So you don't want to go there, because you will fail. That's all there is to it. I can't stand cheaters. Okay, so go ahead and make sure. Just take your time. Make sure you know how to do those homework problems, and you'll be fine on the exam problems. Now, on the exam problems, once you get done, okay, you're going to do these on Word or Excel. Once you get done with all the problems, then you're going to hit Submit Quiz button, and that shuts off the exam. Don't hit it until you're done with your problems, or if the time is getting close. Okay, you only have a certain amount of time. It should be enough time, but again, if you're having to think about every single line because you haven't practiced the homework, then maybe there's not enough time for you. You need to submit quiz by the time hits, and they give you a little timer. So make sure, even if you're not quite done, go ahead and submit the quiz, okay? Because otherwise, it puts it out in limbo, and I can't put your grade on it. It's a real hassle, okay? So hit the submit quiz before you run out of time, or once you're done looking at the information and you don't need it anymore, because you can't get back in there once you hit submit quiz. Your documents, if you still need another few minutes to fix something on your documents, and then you're going to go down to this exam one problem upload, and you're going to go in there, and that's just like an assignment Dropbox, and you're going to upload all of your documents, your Excel and your Word files, and then you are good to go. The time stamp of when you upload those things should be fairly close to the end of your time stamp of the exam one problem. If you don't upload those till the next morning or something, then I'm sorry, you get a 0. You had all night extra beyond what all the other students had to work on your stuff, then no, you're not, you're going to get a 0. So, you can take a few extra minutes or whatever, get them in order. I know it takes time to upload stuff. Now, let's say you have upload problems. Go ahead and attach them to an email to me as soon as you can. Don't wait till the next day and say, oh, I had upload problems. What should I do? Okay, go ahead and upload them. Attach them to an email. You're also welcome on these problems to do them by hand. Take a picture with your phone and upload the picture of your work that you did by hand if you are really concerned that you don't know Word or Excel well enough to put your information in there.